Alrighty, folks, it's that time of year again. I am starting my Become a Hero toy drive. Between now and December 20th, whenever you purchase any of my books, all of the proceeds and revenue will go towards buying toys for children this holiday season. If you are not interested in purchasing any of my books, that's okay. You can go ahead and make a direct donation to my PayPal account. All of the money we raise this season will be matched out of my own pocket, and this year I have a personal goal of raising $500, which means a total of $1,000 will be used to buy toys for children this holiday season. So I do hope you guys do take the time out of your busy, hectic holiday schedule and support this noble cause, and I do wish you guys a very happy holiday season. Will at Heroic Studios out. Hello, folks. Welcome back to a new episode of Culture Shock. Yes, I've been away for a while, but I'm here to remind you that still, Joe Biden is not the president-elect. Now, even though states have begun to certify their votes, it is a good shot that he could be elected as president, but Trump still has his legal battles to fight. All right, so there's a lot to get to today. I know I haven't been around as much as I should. There's been a lot going on, especially I've been trying to keep up with the election, all these lawsuits and stuff like that. It's been a lot, so I just thought that I would just consolidate everything into one little clump and give it to you all at one go. All right, so yeah, let's get started because there is a lot to get to. But first, of course, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This is really growing. I know I haven't done any videos for a while. I keep saying that. I'm going to try and be a little bit more consistent because whether which way this election goes, Joe Biden is president or Donald Trump is president, it's going to be a lot of content for me to cover for you guys. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't have to hit the notification bell. But it is a great thanks from you to me. That works out very nicely. Of course, I have a podcast. You guys can go check that out. I'm bringing back my Sunday talks probably at the beginning of the year. And of course, before we get started, my manga, Oltima The Legend Untold, is going to be it's going to be launching next year, June 10th, 2021. But if you jump on my mailing list at heroicstudiosmedia.com, you can get it January 8th, 2021, and each subsequent Friday after that. So it's going to be a weekly free-to-read manga. I hope you guys do enjoy that. It's my way of giving back during this tough time with the pandemic and COVID and people just going crazy because there's nothing really to do. Well, hey, you got a free manga to read. Hope you guys do enjoy that. All right, so what's going on with the election? There is a lot going on with the election. There's so much that I don't think I can fit it all in this show. But earlier this week, Rudy Giuliani and Team Trump did a presser. Okay, folks, you have to understand that I've been hearing a lot from this. The presser does not mean that they're going to share the evidence with you, all right? Yes, I want to see the evidence. We all want to freaking see the evidence. Show me the evidence in which this voter fraud took place or the Dominion machines were hacked. I want to see it. Don't just tell me. I operate off of evidence. You show me the evidence that suggests something, I'm more inclined to believe whatever side of the story you're trying to promote, all right? That's just me. So this presser was not designed or wasn't for them suggesting the evidence, bringing forth the evidence. It was for them to kind of notify the press of basically what's going on. So first up, we had Rudy Giuliani come out, and he has basically suggested that a bunch of mail-in votes appeared out of nowhere after the counting was supposed to be done in states like Michigan and Pennsylvania. Trump has litigation going on in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. If I'm being honest, I don't think Wisconsin and Michigan is going to be much help there, unfortunately. Sorry, big guy. That's just me coming off of what I've read so far. But in Pennsylvania, there's been a lot of talk about these mail-in ballots just randomly popping up out of nowhere, and on top of that, a majority of them being for Joe Biden. Earlier today, there was a court hearing in Pennsylvania, and this is what happens.
So at the very beginning of the chart, where there's a circle, it says on election day. What that indicates is there is a spike in loaded votes, 337,000 plus or minus of some votes that were added in there in one big batch. So that was an anomaly in the reporting. Normally you would expect to see a smooth curve going up, not any big spikes. That's kind of what Greg was talking about, the anomalies of loading and uploading those votes. So that big spike that occurs there is a prime indicator of fraudulent voting.
And that's 604,000 votes? in 90 minutes, is that right?
Correct. This is 337 votes, 337,000 votes in that.
In that period of time?
Yes.
And when you look at this entire curve with all these spikes, can you calculate how much of a vote that accounted for Biden and how much for Trump?
Close to 600,000. I think our figures were about 570 some odd thousand that all those spikes represent over time.
For Biden?
Correct.
And how much for Trump?
I think it was a little over 3,200.
So it's very interesting to kind of see what's going on here. How you see the crowd react. They're what? It's like 400,000 votes were for Biden, and then less than 3,200 mail-in ballots were for Trump. There's something fishy there. Like, what's going on? So, again, this is very important, and it's not about Trump being president. It's not about Biden being president. This whole thing is about being truthful to our election, making sure the integrity of our elections are upheld. I don't care who becomes president. I would rather prefer Trump to be president, obviously, but if Biden becomes president and he did it fair and square, toodles, that's great. Awesome. It's awesome for me because it's going to be funny the way the left is reacting. We'll get into that later. But again, as long as the integrity of our elections are kept, I'm good. Investigate it. If there's allegations anywhere, look into it. If nothing's there, great. If something's there, question it. That's what I say. So that's what Rudy Giuliani pretty much went forward with. And it's very, very intriguing how over 400,000 votes were for Biden and less than 3,200 were for Trump. Seems kind of like someone should be looking into that. And that's what they're doing, and great. But meanwhile, Susan Powell, who was Trump legal advisor, she actually worked on the whole Michael Flynn case back then. I really don't know what that was about, but she came out with some pretty hard accusations saying that the Dominion voting system was easily hackable by people and that the system was owned by a company that was also owned by a company in Venezuela and stuff like that. And you're kind of grasping at straws here, lady. Like, conspiracy theory, yeah, that you're kind of borderlining there, because if you're going to make such a big accusation, you're going to need some type of evidence to back all that up. So I don't really know what happened with her and the team, but she was recently fired by Team Trump. Maybe she couldn't gather the evidence. Again, like if you're going to make those big claims, you got to back it up with some evidence. Prime example is when people say that, oh, America's systemically racist. And you ask them, well, what system of America is racist? And they can't give you a specific system to back it up. Or if they do, you give them the facts that they don't want to believe it, and they just say, "Oh, the whole thing is system. It just need to be torn down. It's all racist. It needs to be torn down." And that's not how you win an argument. That's not how you even conduct an argument. You need to provide evidence, not anecdotal evidence. Not saying, "Well, this happened to me on this day 5 years ago." No, you need statistical facts if you're going to go that route, and you need evidence to suggest that the Dominion voting system could have been easily hacked. The owners of the Dominion voting system actually came out and said, hey, yeah, no, this isn't easily hacked. She also accused other state governors of being paid off in order to use the Dominion voting system in their state. Yeah, again, I'm all about following the money. So if you realize that these people were getting paid off, there should be some kind of paper trail there that would suggest that so-and-so governor of New York or whomever got paid off hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to incorporate the Dominion voting system in their general election. Right? You just can't say these things, folks. You just can't say these things without providing substantial amount of evidence that supports your claim. And it has to be verified, obviously. But Susan Powell was let go from Team Trump this week, and a lot of us kind of took it kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? She was fired by Team Trump. Probably not as much voter fraud as we thought. Honestly, is there voter fraud? There's a good chance that there is. Is it enough to overturn the election? I don't know. What just went down in Pennsylvania just now could actually be a big turning point for Trump if they see that voter irregularities were actually a thing, which would then go to the Supreme Court, and then going from there would actually probably be decided that Trump is president if they illegitimize the entire state of Pennsylvania. But then he also has Georgia to take care of. He also has states like Nevada and Arizona, which I don't really know the status of those states, but it still is a lot. So again, certification will take place December 14th. So a little bit more than 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, pushing maybe 3. There's still a lot that can happen between now and then. The states are going to certify their votes December 14th. So then Trump has to get his affairs in order in terms of his lawsuits and making sure everything is where it needs to be if he's still trying to fight this. So window's closing. I guess we'll see December 14th who actually will become the president-elect or if Donald Trump will be reelected. So now, moving on to Joe Biden. Joe Biden. The swampiest, swampy thing in the swamp right now. A lot of people are not happy with Joe Biden because Mr. Unite over here is actually, he actually just chose his entire cabinet. And I can tell you that this, for some people, this isn't the diversity that they were hoping for in their cabinet. Honestly, when you look at this picture, it looks like a bunch of old white people and then Kamala Harris, who's like the token black person in the group right there. Like, yeah, Joe Biden, you got all these white people. You can't really tell if they are white or not, but they certainly do look white in mass. And then you got Kamala Harris. So it's kind of, I don't know. A lot of those radicals, I won't say radicals, the squad, they're not too happy. So this is just in from the Daily Wire about 2 hours ago. Biden's cabinet shaping up to be the most liberal yet. Here's what we know. This week, as President Trump signaled his intention of fighting the election fraud in the court while allowing the presidential transition to begin, Joe Biden began announcing his cabinet appointments for key positions within his administration, though he promised to build back better, whatever the hell that means. I have no idea what that even means. Are we going back? Like, what does that build back? I thought it was build forward. Anyway. And bring fresh ideas to the White House after his 47 years in public office, Biden's cabinet features a growing number of familiar establishment figures from the Democratic Party. You know what that means? That entire paragraph is just suggested that Joe Biden has pretty much appointed people who have been in Washington, D.C. for years. Just like Joe Biden, they haven't done anything in those years they've been in there. So the swamp is back in town, you guys. These people who are career politicians just lurking in that swamp, swimming around like little swamp creatures, vines and everything, just hanging out there on their fingertips and everything. They're back. They're back. That's another reason why President Trump was hated so much, because he disrupted the establishment. So everybody who voted for Biden to get rid of Trump because they thought Trump was the establishment, this is the establishment. This is the establishment. Again, this would be the most entertaining 4 years of my life. Whether Trump wins, you get a lot more freakouts from the left. Whether Biden wins, you get a lot more freakouts from the left, because the left believed that Biden was going to be their intersectionality god to bring them back where, it's more diverse and stuff like that. This isn't diverse. You're bringing back the same as people who were present during the Obama administration. You're just bringing them back into the cabinet. Holy crap. All right. If President Trump sought to drain the swamp with his cabinet appointees, Biden appears intent on filling it right back up. That's exactly what I just said. According to the legacy media, Biden's choices so far have been groundbreaking and historic, which is often code for liberal, which is true, because none of this is groundbreaking and historic. These people have been in office for literally decades. Decades. And again, yes, I'm pulling this from the Daily Wire. If you don't know who the Daily Wire is, it's Ben Shapiro, news site, I guess, news media site. Yeah. I'm not dealing with the mainstream media anymore. I'm going to alternative, objective news sources. And so far I've heard him speak, and he's pretty objective, along with his other people, Anthony, I don't even know I forgot their names, Michael Knowles and Jeremy Boring and all those guys. They're very, very objective people. So hashtag not sponsored. Just throwing it out there. All right, so Secretary of State is Anthony Blinken. Blinken, a fluent French speaker who grew up in Paris, was a member of President Clinton's National Security Council and served most recently as President Obama's Deputy Secretary of State. So he's bringing back everybody who was in the Obama era, folks. I hope you guys are ready. Next up, we have John Kerry. I don't know if you guys remember John Kerry. He ran for president back in I want to say 2004. I think he ran against George W. Bush, and then George W. Bush got reelected. So I could be wrong, but perhaps best known for his failed presidential, 2004, failed presidential bid in 2004. John Kerry now takes over as climate envoy. I don't know what this guy knows about climate change or what he thinks he can do to better the environment, but this dude ran for president in 2004 and lost. That's the thing with these career politicians. Joe Biden has run for president 3 times over the course of his 47-year career in politics, and he has just now won. I mean, he's breaking barriers for most people because if John Kerry lost in 2004, there's a good chance this fool might run again in 2024. I'm just saying, they don't go away. Hillary Clinton lost in 2016, and she's like popping up like Lord Voldemort, just keeps on trying to come back. No, you lost. Go away. We don't want you anymore. Bye. Go shoot. But that's how it is. They just keep coming back. Kerry served as Secretary of State from 2013 to 2017 under President Obama. Who would have known? Another person in Biden's cabinet who has worked for President Obama. And played an integral part in the United States' participation in the Paris Climate Agreement, an agreement Biden plans on rejoining on day one. The Paris Climate Agreement does absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. That's why Trump pulled us out. Number 3, Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary. Now, what I'm hearing from this chick is that she's very anti-capitalist. So, hold on to your money, folks, because this chick might single-handedly ruin you. Among the most well-known Biden appointees is Janet Yellen, who served as federal chair 2014 to 2018, a familiar face in Washington politics. Yellen broke traditional Fed protocol by joining the Biden campaign as an advisor after her tenure as chair. Prior to her time at the Fed, Yellen served as chair of President Clinton's Council of Economic Advisors, as well as professor of economics at UC Berkeley. UC Berkeley, the birthplace of Antifa. Who knew? The move was praised by liberal leaders across the board, including Senator Elizabeth Warren, who called her an astounding choice for Treasury Secretary. Yes, I'm sure it was an astounding choice to pick someone who's been in office forever. Yellen's job as Treasury Secretary will require her to foster support in Congress for Biden's economic proposal, a tall task given a strong possibility of Republican control Senate. That's another reason why, if you're in Georgia, get your ass out and vote. Don't be boycotting the votes, because if we allow these Democrats to take the last 2 seats in the Senate, Kamala Harris will be the tiebreaker, making the Democrats the majority in the Senate. We got to hold something. Republicans got to hold the Senate. Otherwise, this chick, Janet Yellen, she's going to come in and raise taxes on everybody, especially business owners. So, something to think about. Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas. Okay, so he sounds Latino. Okay, about time. Little diversity creeping in there, just a little bit, but let's see what this. I don't really care about what he looks like. I want to know what his record is. All right, that would be the smart thing to do. Another veteran of the Obama administration. That's literally the first line, and I already know what I'm about to get into. Another Obama appointee. Who knew? Another veteran of the Obama administration, Mayorkas, a Cuban immigrant who fled the country in 1960, served previously as Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security under the Director of Citizenship and Immigration Services. So basically, he worked under DACA. I mean, that's what it says. Mayorkas played an integral role in the implementation of DACA under the Obama administration and has signaled his intention to soften the Department of Homeland Security stances towards refugees and dreamers. Basically, they're about to open the borders with this dude in the cabinet. So, yeah. Texas, I hope you have your guns. Arizona, I hope you have your guns too. National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan. Sullivan is best known for his ties to Hillary Clinton, serving as her Deputy Chief of Staff and the State Department under Senior Policy Advisor during the 2016 presidential campaign. It's either Obama or it's either the Clintons. There's no diversity here. These people have been in office working under the same people for fucking decades. There's no diversity. No diversity of thought, anyway. Mayorkas, he's Latino. The dude thinks about the same. All of these people, I'm assuming, went to Ivy League schools and have been fed these Ivy League propaganda, liberal propaganda bullshit, and they're in your cabinet now. So great job. There's a graduate of Yale University called it. Sullivan served also as President Obama's Director of Policy Planning. Yep. And I think this is the last one. Avril Haines, Director of National Security. Haines served most recently as President Obama's Deputy of National Security. You know what? I'm stopping right there. All of these people served under President Obama. Every single last one. Every single last one. So I guess that return to normalcy, I guess before Trump, means going back to an Obama era, which, if I recall, wasn't as good as I remember. Not at all. But this article will be down in my comment section. It's on the Daily Wire. I hope you guys do take the time out to read it. It is very informative, and it's very good that you know what's coming in terms of who Biden plans to put in charge of what you decide you want to do. Alrighty, now I'm going to get to something that's a little less stressful. I'm getting back into my whole media critique. Now, if you don't know, I like to watch TV. I watch TV a lot. Very recently, a very special reunion happened on HBO Max. That's right, I'm talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion episode, and I have to tell you that it is worth it. What do I mean by that? I mean, get the free trial of HBO Max, watch it, and then cancel it. Because honestly, there's nothing else on HBO Max I would watch. Maybe more Fresh Prince of Bel-Air before this week is up, but it was very nostalgic. Now, they don't make shows like this like they used to. This show was very groundbreaking at its core. It was very unique. You're talking about a Black African-American upper class family living in Bel Air who, by the way, were Republicans. I remember that in an episode, who also had Donald Trump pop in on one episode. So this show was very different from what it was. I think it was one of 3 shows that featured a upper middle class African-American family. I think one was Cosby Show. They're not doing a review. They're not doing a reunion anytime soon, unfortunately. Family Matters, and I think Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So those were the big 3 back in my day, and I still love those shows. Don't get me wrong. Cosby, I can still watch it despite what the dude did or was doing at the time of that episode. But Fresh Prince of Bel-Air took us back to 1994, I believe, and it was one of those shows that you just have to watch. And seeing the cast together, Will Smith, Tatiana Ali, Karen Parsons, all these guys coming back, it was very, very, very touching. And it comes down to the whole reason why I actually watched it. I wasn't going to really watch it, but then I never knew the reason why the original Aunt Viv left the show was because she was having beef with Will Smith. There's a lot of things going on. I'm not going to reveal every single aspect of that. You guys can go watch it for yourselves. But they brought her back for the reunion episode, and Will Smith and OG and Viv talked, and they hashed out their beef, and it was a lot. It was very, very, very touching. I never knew that. I didn't know that at all. I just thought the actress was replaced because something might have went down with her contract or something like that. I don't know. Wasn't really my thing. I did notice that there was a new Aunt Viv, I think in season 3. So it was very, very heartwarming that these 2 people, after not speaking to each other for 27 years, decided to come back and hash out their beef. And now everything is all good. But the thing that got me in this entire show was the whole Uncle Phil tribute. James Avery, no longer with us. He passed away back in 2013, but he was everyone's Uncle Phil. I think everyone could, if everyone had an Uncle Phil in their lives, everybody would be probably a little bit better off. But he was a very fun dude, according to the cast, very supportive, very informative. He knew what he was doing, and he had a very good persona. So that's all I'm going to say about the reunion episode, folks. Go check it out. It's on HBO Max. I think I saw it on YouTube, so if you guys want to kind of not pay and go watch it on YouTube, it might still be there, it might not. Check it out. But it was very, very good. So that's all I got for you for today, guys. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I will see you guys next time on another episode of Culture Shock, and I will bring you more information regarding these court cases and litigations regarding the presidential election. So please like, subscribe, share this video out. I'm also on Rumble, and you can find me on Parler as well, because everyone's flocking to Parler because Twitter's stupid. So dumb. So is Facebook. Fuck Facebook. Get out of here. Anyways, guys, eat an extra plate for me, and I will see you guys next time on another episode of Culture Shock. Adios.